Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to check in on Fusion, Buzzfeed's retarded little brother. It's been a while since we last checked in on Fusion, largely because the shit they say is rarely worthy of discussion. In fact, the last time I did a video on these guys was back in December. I hadn't done a live stream yet, I was still using my old style thumbnail, and this woman was telling us her racist shit isn't for fragile white people.
So because I write about race on my blog, on social media, I write about it very openly, very directly. There are times when I get emails from hurt white people who are basically telling me that they feel like I'm being divisive or they're misunderstood. Basically, it's white fragility in email form.
Fucking fragile ass crackers. In the 2 months since that video, Fusion hasn't improved their quality. Anyone who hates white people, conservatives, or men can have their chance in the Fusion sun. Today that person is Kai Newkirk, mission director for a little group calling itself Democracy Spring. We'll take a look at the group a little later on, but first we're going to listen to what Kai here has to say.
So you went to the protests, you made your sign, you marched. Now what? We've got to continue to build this movement. We have to keep fighting.
I'd like to apologize for the Blue Oyster Bar soundtrack in this video. A lot of really bad videos try to make up for their garbage content by playing music in the background as morons say incredibly stupid shit on screen. It's an old movie trick to manipulate your emotions while distracting you from the bad acting. Sorry, got a bit off topic there. Kai was telling us how we can further resist after we've made our signs and been to a protest. I was originally drawn to this video because of the thumbnail. I feel like I was lied to. I thought we were going to get some kind of field manual for being a colossal violent asshole, patting yourself on the back in mom's basement while enjoying the fruits of capitalism while denouncing it. Instead, we get this David Koresh-looking motherfucker pitching his cult disguised as a political action group.
Well, the first thing I would want to say to someone who's newly involved is welcome. Thank you so much. We need you.
I'm beginning to understand the music selection. That was
so gay. If we're going to build a resistance that's going to win, we're going to have to use all the kind of nonviolent tools in the toolbox. It's going to be a marathon and not a sprint. And there's 5 things that you can do. One is you got to join an organization or start one. We got to do this together. We need community to sustain it. There's lots of great organizations from Democracy Spring that I'm part of, to Working Families Party, 350.org, the Movement for Black Lives.
Step 1. Join a random for-profit pseudo-political group or start your own. Personally, I recommend starting your own. You have a much better chance nailing some bubble-headed liberal bimbo if you have a fancy title like mission director. Let's face it, you probably don't have manly chest hair like Kai here. You're going to need all the help you can get. Start your own group and you'll be smashing more puss than you'll know what to do with.
Second, you got to continue the conversation and recruit people. We're going to need to bring more people in. We need millions to be part of this movement.
Step 2. Bring in more people. You can't have mob rule without a mob. Remember, the more people listening to you, the more impressed the women will be, and the more likely they'll let you plow their lady garden.
We're going to need resources.
Bitches love resources. Just ask any MGTOW. Now you might be thinking, is Monkey suggesting that this is all about getting laid? Yes. Yes, I am.
All of us can contribute something. It takes money to build a movement. You can donate. You can reach out to family.
This part is really funny, as one of the main goals of Democracy Spring is to get money out of politics. And he wants you to ask your family to help. If a family member asked me for a donation to get money out of politics, I'd likely need to be hospitalized from laughing at them so hard. How fucking stupid do you have to be to ask for money to stop the influence of money? And how much more idiotic do you have to be to think that makes any fucking sense? I know, he's talking about big money. We have to get big money out of politics by raising a lot of money. That's still fucking stupid.
Fourth, we've got to vote, we've got to run for office. Many of us are feeling moved to step up because of the terrible result of this 2016 election. We've got to try to prevent that from happening in the future. That means many of us are going to have to take over the Democratic Party and make it a progressive party that represents all of us in our country. We'll stand up to Trump, represents the people and not big money.
Okay, let's address this stupid shit. Big money did not get Trump elected. It did get Hillary nominated and helped her to win the popular vote. It moved the masses in big cities to vote for a woman whose only qualification seemed to be having a cunt and riding her husband jizz-stained coattails. That's where the big money really was spent. You guys are of course free to run for office, but you aren't going to change things that way. Why? Well, because as we can see from any election map, you all live in the same damn place. You're concentrated. Most of the country doesn't like you. Even if you manage to defeat Trump in 2020, you'll still have very little power because at least one chamber of Congress will likely still be controlled by the Republicans. We let liberals have complete control of Washington back in 2009, and they fucked us with a healthcare scheme that the vast majority of Americans didn't want. You know who did want it? Insurance companies, or the people you'd likely refer to as big money.
And fifth, we've got to use every nonviolent tool in the toolbox, including civil disobedience and non-cooperation. No movement has been successful in our country that hasn't been willing to escalate nonviolently, to shut things down, to disrupt business as usual, to make deeper sacrifices, to force the public to take a stand on an issue.
That's just a flat-out lie. Lots of things have changed in this country without anybody taking to the streets to be a douchebag blocking traffic or making a public nuisance of themselves. Let's take a look at this asshole's website. It's linked below if you'd like to check it out. We're looking at the About page. It's all dumb, like bragging about the largest single act of civil disobedience in the 21st century in the United States. When you have to put that many qualifiers on your amazing accomplishment, you might as well just say you had a giant circle jerk that accomplished nothing. But I just want to concentrate on that final paragraph. Now we're taking our fight for real democracy nationwide by building our decentralized network of autonomous local teams across the country. We will organize and escalate until we win a one-person, one-vote democracy for all. Do you support gay marriage? I ask because in most states where it was put up for a vote, it lost overwhelmingly, even in liberal California. The only place one-person, one-vote isn't already implemented is in the presidential election. Ballot initiatives, House and Senate races, governorships, mayors, and all other elections are one person, one vote. I'm not going to get into a deep history lesson here, but there's a good reason for why the Electoral College was implemented and why it is still relevant. Look it up. But for argument's sake, let's say we went with the popular vote and Hillary was elected. She'd still be largely ineffective because Republicans won the one-person, one-vote elections for Congress. What you really want is to force your will on everyone else. The Electoral College is just a convenient villain right now. It's easy to confuse stupid people into thinking if only it weren't for that archaic institution, everything would be a liberal social justice utopia. And I have no doubt that kind of moronic rhetoric is keeping your 80s porn extra-looking ass knee-deep in pussy, but that's not quite how things work.
If we are willing to do the work, and if millions more people who share our values and a vision and are opposed to Trump are willing to get involved and stay involved, we can win. And we've got to remember that the experience and the needs and the struggle of those who are most vulnerable in our country, that has got to be at the center and at the heart of all the work that we're doing as we build a movement that is welcoming to all and that is inclusive of all and that really tells a story and works in a way that shows that we are the America that our country needs to be and that it can become. And Trump will never bring that about. We're going to move forward. We're not going backwards. We're going to defend our democracy and work to realize at last that vision of liberty and justice for all, not just some, but for everyone in our country.
Liberty and justice for all. Unless you support Trump or think illegals should be deported or accept human biology as fact or, well, you get the point. Social justice warriors love to talk about inclusion because it sells, but they only accept those who think as they do. They are just as bigoted as they claim everybody else is. And this douchebag is no different. But what else would you expect from somebody featured on Buzzfeed's retarded little brother? That's going to wrap up this one. If you enjoy my content, please consider making a monthly donation to my Patreon. I cannot thank my patrons enough. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. You can also support this channel by sharing it on your social media. It's an excellent way to let people know you have great taste and to piss off the liberals in your life. Thank you for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I will see you next time.
Well, the first thing I would want to say to someone who's newly involved is welcome. Thank you so much. We need you.
Your life makes me sad.